There we go. Okay. Hey guys, Tate here, as usual on Thursdays now. So this week on Choreology, we're going to talk about coming out and, how we decided to do that, what came out of it, etc. Coming out for me was actually super difficult, as I imagine it was for a lot of people coming out. And, I think it's kind of normal for it to be difficult. Like, I remember bottling it up inside of me for a couple years because I was so scared. And I used to get so afraid that if I were to come out to my parents, that they would kick me out of the house and I wouldn't have anywhere to go. Now, I know I'm wrong about that now because, obviously I came out so many years ago. And, I lived with them whether I wanted to or not for a while and then left on my own. So I didn't get kicked out. But when I came out, I was probably about 12, and I had sat down for like a couple weeks, and every day I would just sit down and I would come back to this letter that I was writing them, and it turned out to be 2 or 3 pages long, and it was just, coming out, and I was explaining to them that, it's not their fault, that a lot of things can go wrong when a baby is born, so why couldn't this happen to me or anybody? Not that, being trans or outside of the norm is wrong, because it's not. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. You are valid for, how you feel, and I'm valid for my gender and my sexuality, and everything about me is valid, and everything about you is valid. So nothing is wrong with you. It's just that some people view it as wrong. And, I didn't know how to give it to them. So I was seeing a therapist at the time because I was really suicidal and everything. So I was seeing a therapist, and I told her, I was like, hey, I need your help with something. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm already out to you, but I need help coming out to my parents. Do you think you can help me with that? And she was like, do you want me to stay in the room with you? Or do you want me to leave and you can just bring them in here? No, I want you in here with me. I'm scared. They might do something. I need you to stay in here with me. So she did. Then I gave them the letter. They read it over. I was crying my eyes out because I was so scared of what was going to happen. And they, read it over. They didn't ask me any questions, and I was really surprised because I didn't think I made my letter so thorough to where they would understand exactly what I was going through. And I was just, blown out of my mind because I wanted them to ask questions. I wanted them to know what was going on inside of me. I wanted them to know how I felt. I wanted them to know everything, but they didn't ask, and I was so frustrated and scared that meant that they didn't care. And that was really awful for this little 12-year-old me that was super insecure about everything already, and then you throw this on top of them, and I was like, they don't give a shit. Sorry for my language, by the way. But as the years have gone by, my parents still don't really ask questions, and there was this little window of opportunity when I was about 16 that I could have started testosterone, and that kind of sent my parents into oh shit, this is real, and they got scared and pulled me out of seeing that therapist, and I was very upset. I'm still upset. It's been 2 years, almost 3. I'm still upset over that because I could have been on testosterone by now. So, that's a whole nother story for another time though, so I'm not going to get into that, but they realized that what I was going through is not just a figment of my imagination or their imagination, that it is set in stone and it is real. And they started to try to understand a little bit more, but they didn't really ask questions still. And I'm still confused because I still want them to ask questions, and I want them to know what is going on inside of me, but it still doesn't seem like they care so much. But they try occasionally to use the name Tate, and they try occasionally to use male pronouns, and I'm thankful for the occasional times that they do get it right. And I'm still hurt by the times that they don't, but it takes time, because they had 12 years of thinking that who I was the person they wanted, and that was their daughter, and then I just kind of flipped it on them, and I was like, you guys are wrong, that was never me, I was just really scared of getting kicked out and shit. So, that's my coming out story. And, I don't know. I really wish you guys luck if you haven't come out yet, and I wish it went well and I hope it went well if you already have come out. And coming out is really scary, and you just gotta hope for the best and just go into it when you're comfortable doing it. Don't do it when you're not, and don't do it if you know only negative outcomes are gonna come out of it. And yeah, that's my video for this week. I love you guys. Stay beautiful. Smile lots. And stay you. I love you guys. Bye.